El-Katatney. Hi Ethar, thank you for joining us on Sky News this afternoon. First of all, tell us about the atmosphere there today.
Well, we've just heard now that ex-President Mubarak will be due to be released probably in a couple of days, which is, kind of news that shocks and isn't shocking anyone at this point, considering the speed and the volume of events we've been witnessing. But definitely, given current events, the political significance of this is not going to be lost on a lot of Egyptians with the belief that the deep state has triumphed. The mood right now is very cautious. We still don't know exactly, are the Muslim Brotherhood just laying low? Are there going to be calls for renewed protests? But again, like you just said, we went to sleep and we woke up, heard that 36 were killed from the side of the Muslim Brotherhood and 25 from the side of the state were killed this morning. So you go to sleep and you wake up and 60 people have died. So I think everyone right now is laying low and trying to figure out what the next step of the Muslim Brotherhood and the government is going to be.
Just to clarify, as far as Hosni Mubarak is concerned, some, in fact his lawyers saying that he could well be released within 48 hours. Others suggesting that potentially isn't the case. Only last week we saw that he was to be remanded for at least another month. You think that he could well be released?
I think, in light of recent events, his trial is, the death of the protesters. And when you consider that, of course, there's no way to compare this, but during the entire 18-day revolution, less people died than were killed in one day last Wednesday. It kind of, for a lot of Egyptians, I think, and especially considering all the blunders that have been happening by the ruling government, we actually have a movement again, that kind of will paint him as a Mandela. I definitely think there is a big chance he will be released, and that the release will not be greeted with as such fury or anger as people might think that it should.
Meantime, the rhetoric is continuing on both sides. Muslim Brotherhood are using language like Holocaust and massacre to fire up their supporters, presumably, but state television using words like terrorist to describe the protesters.
Yeah. Definitely, the language used is extreme on both sides. Every side wants to appear blameless and that they are victims. Their media presents this. You see an image, for example, of a woman standing in front of a tank, but then another image of the same woman with a soldier giving her water. You see the image of protesters pushing off a police truck off a bridge, but then you see footage where the driver actually reverses. So depending on the media you're watching, you'll get a completely different picture. The media that is shaping the narrative is very, very, how do I put it? There isn't even an attempt at trying to be objective when it's the state media versus the Muslim Brotherhood kind of media. Simply, like you just said, the words terrorism, the words we are fighting terror, that we are being massacred, that they're all such language which inflames the people who are watching, and this has been going on for a long time. This last 6 weeks, which has seen anti-Muslim Brotherhood sentiment increase, and obviously not helped by the actions of the Brotherhood, but that's been fueled largely by the media. And you have both sides are very, very adamant in their own beliefs. Unfortunately, we've been seeing this more and more, the polarization of Egyptian society in their support of the military or their support of the Brotherhood is increasing. There is no more middle ground. A lot of people simply do not want to admit that their side has also committed mistakes, and that is the reality, that both sides have committed atrocities and that there have been deaths on both sides. But for a large portion of Egyptians who have been subjected to 2.5 years of this kind of roller coaster of events, they just want things to settle down the way they want it to, their Egypt, the way they see things going.
Okay, Ethar, we must leave it there, but we appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still waiting for more information.